What is up, DCS crew? Welcome back to the channel. So, as you can see, we got a couple of bit drivers here. We have the T6, the T8, and the T9, as well as the Artisan Cutlery Cazador in their proprietary stainless steel. That is RPM9, if I recall correctly. This particular model is it's green canvas micarta. There's a lot to really like. I really dig this blade style and this blade shape. These oversized pivots. The last time I saw something that was like this was, I think it was the SLT from Kaiser. Really dig that. So without any further ado, we'll go ahead and let the intro play and get right to it. There's a couple things I do want to talk to you about this particular knife. I do like it, but there are things that you should know, particularly why these three bits are here. So stay tuned. After the intro, we'll get right to it. Alright guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in to this episode with the Artisan Cutlery Cazador or Cazador. I don't know, however you choose to say. I'm Latin, so I'm going to say Cazador. Okay, so the brief description that they give when they describe this knife is the Cazador from Artisan Cutlery is slim and easy to covertly carry in your pocket. The tapered handle has a subtle curve to it, creating a solid grip. This model features a green micarta handle with a blue titanium pocket clip and pivot collar. The sheep's foot satin blade is made out of their proprietary AR-RPM9 stainless steel, and it whips open with the flipper tab. AR-RPM9 steel was created to be affordable, yet it holds its edge, sharpen beautifully, and prevent corrosion. So be sure to get yours before they run out. Now, it's kind of hard to get this before they run out because as of the date of this video, I believe they still haven't been released. So kudos to Artisan Cutlery and thank you to the Apex Passaround for going ahead and showing this to me. So a couple of things before we go ahead and get started. Let me see if I can go ahead and just put that here to the side and then go ahead and give you some of the specs here that I was able to go ahead and pick out. Okay, you can go ahead and pause the video if you want to see that for a little bit longer, and we'll get right back to the knife. Now, before we start, let's go ahead and see some size differences from some of the knives that I have on the table. I got a couple newbies and some that have been around. Maybe you've seen them in other videos. This is the Bevy slip joint. This is 154 cm steel from Concept Knives. This is a Nick Swan design. Jade G10 or natural G10, and nice little slip joint, great for the office. Non-locking. Okay, so there's that. We have the Concept Cryo with a K, not to be confused with the Kershaw Cryo with a C. Okay, let's see here. We have, see if maybe you can see that there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, the Kershaw Bare Knuckle. That's 14C 28N steel. This is the BRS Kopesh. Big knife, as you can see. This isn't exactly a small knife, but this isn't exactly a small knife either. So keep that in mind. What else do we have here? We have the Kaiser Rogue from Dirk Pinkerton. That one's always in regular rotation. That's why you guys see it so damn often, because that is my worker beat. And then there is the Centros from Dillamari, which, by the way, the Hydros is out. I was able to go ahead and pick one up. You are going to see it later in a video. And just, you know, I figured I'd go ahead and let you know about that. So, on to the review. So, first impressions on this particular knife, I really like it. It kind of fits the role of somebody who maybe works at an office and you know, wants something that works, you know, fits well in the pocket. It's thin, but it's easy to deploy. It's easy to go ahead and use. It comes with a good quality stainless steel that you can basically use in all seasons, whether it's raining, it's cold, it's hot, humid, that sort of thing. You know, one little pop in the collar and the clip. You got that titanium clip. Beautiful, you know, setup. In all honesty, it's actually very nice. And as you can see, it does run on bearings. It flips out very easily, and it is a really nice folder. Now, there's a couple of things I kind of learned about this, okay, and just for the sake of this review, I just want to go ahead and show what it looks like in my hand. I am able to go ahead and get all 4 fingers on it. My thumb naturally rests on the top, which I'd like for some jimping to be right here, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so pros, has that RPM9 steel, really badass. And another pro, I do want to go ahead and say, this micarta, this canvas micarta, I've had my share of, you know, knives with micarta. I mean, in fact, I have two right here. I didn't really show these. These are the Scotia, by the way. That's going to be in another review. I have this one from Concept, which is the Cryo. I have a couple of other ones, you know, the Ace Biblio from Giant Mouse, Ace Grand. It's difficult to be able to go ahead and say what is good and what is not when it comes to micarta, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's what you like. But for what I like, I really enjoy the contoured scales that they have on here and the micarta that they use. It's nice and grippy. You know, what happens is this basically patinas with usage. So when you have, you know, oils in your hand or just stuff that you're using, you know, as you're using the knife more, it gets darker and darker, and you'll see it's kind of darkened right there. Once that's done, you can go ahead and take off the scales, which are very easy to remove off of this, by the way, and wash them, let them dry, and it's going to be like a brand new clean slate. This will look like brand spanking new out of the package. So that's something I really like about the micarta scales. Now, to go ahead and disassemble it, and that's why I have these bits here on the side, you're going to need a T6, a T8, and a T9, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, the T9 is for the pivot. Yeah, I know, I thought it was T8, and I was like, okay, that's not working, so that's kind of weird. Okay, now the T8 is going to be for this little screw that's right here at the base to go ahead and remove, and then you're going to notice that's the only one on this side to be able to go ahead and take off that part of the scale. So if you have a T8 and a T9 screw, a bit, you can actually remove this and you can just go ahead and completely disassemble a knife, as long as you go ahead and keep that pocket clip on there. So just an FYI. But I do recommend that you have a T6 with you, because for the T6 you're going to need it to go ahead and remove the pocket clip. Now the pocket clip has two screws up here. This one is actually married to this one as well, so as you're removing this one actually may start to spin freely. So what you want to do is you want to take the T6, hold it here, and then go ahead and unscrew this. If you want to go ahead and unscrew the T6 screws that are over here to be able to remove the pocket clip and completely disassemble it, you can go ahead and do that. But I was able to go ahead and just remove this scale just by using the T9 and the T8, remove all that stuff, remove the bearings, remove the blade, and be good to go. Now, it does run on steel bearings, okay? It has a plastic, I guess, it's captured inside of this plastic, I guess, washer with the bearings. And one thing I noticed that was pretty cool is under this particular pivot, between the pivot and the pivot collar, there is actually a very thin metal washer that's between the two. I don't know why they put that there, but okay. So I just wanted to go ahead and make that clear. It's very easy to take apart. It is skeletonized inside. Let me see if I can go ahead and shine a light in there so you can really see that. There's my trusty. There we go. All right. Hopefully you'll be able to see that there. Okay. There you go. Okay, you can see the holes there. It is skeletonized on the show side. It is not skeletonized on the lock side, just so you know. And as far as the pocket clip, just like you saw, it is tapped for right hand tip up carry. It is not tapped for left hand carry. Sorry, lefties. It is what it is. So you can call that a sheep's foot if you want. Honestly, personally, I call that a Warncliffe. I know everybody's going to be, it's a house divided, but this is my channel. I call shit the way I see it. And to me, that looks like a Warncliffe. But for the sake of review, we'll call it a sheep's foot because that's what they've declared to all of the different companies. Now, how does it look in the pocket? Well, let me take out my trusty shorts right here. Get this ready. Throw this down in here. And slip it into the pocket. Come on. Come on. It's a lot harder than it looks, folks. Just an FYI. Okay, so as you can see here, okay, see if I can go ahead and make that look a little bit closer. Okay, this is what it's going to look like in the pocket. Okay, just so you can see more or less what it's going to look like. There is going to be about that much that's going to be sticking out. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, and in fact, if you're wearing something like blue jeans, you're not going to see this pocket clip. It's been anodized blue, and the anodization is actually it's kind of like satinized. It's not polished, so it's not something that is going to really show when light is gleaming off of it. That's something that I really like about this pocket clip. one thing that really deters me from a lot of other pocket clips, you know, like this one, like on the Concept, it's like, it's, you know, it's bright enough to where you have a pocket knife, but you kind of don't want to show off the fact that you have a pocket knife, because it's, you know, in this day and age, people get triggered over everything. And, you know, if you're going to wear it at work, I'm not going to be responsible for telling you that this is a great work knife. You wear it at the office and then HR fires you because you end up having a knife, and then they think you're going to have an AR-15 and oh my God, you're going to be the next serial killer. No. Okay. So just for the sake of this conversation, I really do like the pocket clip. I do like that it's got that anodization. It's kind of blurple. It's blue fading into purple, like a little bit of a gradient, but it's not, you know, really out there and really crisp. And then you have the anodized pivot collar, which looks really, really good because this is oversized. I really like that they've done that. And then you have the back spacer right there. That is also anodized blue. And you have this little bar there so that you can go ahead and slip some paracord in there if you choose to go ahead and run a lanyard on this. But the truth is, why the hell would you want to? This is a really, really nice knife that you really would just be doing it a great injustice if you ran it with a lanyard. Now, that being said, there's a few things that I would have liked to have seen, you know, a little bit different. Like I said before, you know, the issue with the jimping up here, I would have liked to have seen some jimping up there. And then right over here where they have this kind of like, it's not really a sharpening choil and it's not really a finger choil. They tend to do this. I don't know. It's just, you can kind of get a little finger in there, but I have, you know, meaty hands, and, you know, when I go ahead and I put my finger in there, it's very, very easy for me to just go ahead and slip off and feel that little edge that's right here at the base, you know. So that's something that I wanted to say. Now, for this knife, I was going to go ahead and talk and be pedantic and talk about how the grind on this was a little bit uneven. You can see that right at the base, it's kind of thin, and then it starts to get, maybe you can see it there, and it gets a little bit thicker throughout when it just gets to the very tip. Okay, now it's not that big of a deal, because the truth is, I personally think that if you own a knife, you should own a reliable sharpening and reprofiling system. You're never going to get a knife that is perfectly profiled, and when it does, I mean, you're going to be using it, so eventually you're going to want to go ahead and get it back to that nice uniform shape from the base to the tip. So for something like that, I'm not really going to dog any points, because at the end of the day, we don't go by a point system. And secondly, I mean, it is what it is. Just freaking sharpen it. If you got something like this, you can afford a freaking sharpener, guys. Just get with the freaking program. So that said, I think it's a really, really nice knife. I don't have pricing on this yet because, like I said, as of the date of this video, it is not available yet in stores. But once it is, I will see if I can go ahead and update with a link below and get you a little bit more information on that. RPM9 steel, it's really hard to be able to find, you know, good quality knives like this, you know, for a budget like this one from Swags in RPM9 steel. So keep that in mind when you are looking at this knife. You are paying for a proprietary stainless steel through them. You have very nice micarta handles. This isn't going to be an upper tier, crazy expensive knife like some of their titanium and their larger offerings through Artisan Cutlery, but this is part of Artisan Cutlery. You're getting artisan quality, not CJRB. So take that with a grain of salt, if you will. So that being said, this is the Cazador from Artisan Cutlery. Huge thanks to Russ and the folks over at Artisan Cutlery for providing this to the Apex Passaround, and thank you to the Apex Passaround for providing this to Daily Carry Solutions for review. If you want to go ahead and see more videos like this, here are some for you to check out. And in the meantime, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. That way, when I have new videos, you are the first to find out. Guys, you guys have been great. I have a lot of stuff to do, including reviewing more knives, so I will let you go. Peace.